Hey, let's setting goals. A lot of people have this idea that they can think about something and then somehow magically it's going to happen. Doesn't happen like that. I mean, let's take a really simple example. You say, we're going to have spaghetti for dinner. And then what do? You make sure that you have the ingredients for spaghetti so you can have that for dinner, right? So saying we're going to have spaghetti in this case sets a goal. Because you know then, in order to have this happen, you have to have those ingredients. And here's what I see with people in their lives over and over again. They have an idea, but they don't set it as a goal. And when you don't actually set something as a goal, generally it doesn't happen. Because an idea is just that. It's an idea. It's not a goal, because a goal has action steps attached to it. So if I'm going to make spaghetti and I say I'm having spaghetti tonight, then I also have to set the goal of ensuring that I have those ingredients. And if I don't have those ingredients, I have to go to the store. Going to the store and getting the ingredients becomes my action steps. If you want to have better communication, you can't just think, I wish I had better communication, and it becomes true. You have to figure out what better communication means for you. Does it mean that you need to be able to express yourself more clearly? Or does it mean that you need to be able to figure out how to talk with somebody during a time of conflict? So you have to understand what it is that you want when you say, I want better communication. Because I know if I want to be able to express myself more clearly, then probably what that means for me is I need to read some books on communication or talk to a coach or a therapist about how I'm coming across. That way you can then figure out your next steps. Accordingly, there's also things like maybe you're not happy in your job. You want something different. You want a better job. What does that mean for you? You may sit and wish all day long at your desk, I wish I had a better job, I hate this job, I wish I had a better job. But unless you put yourself out there, applying for another job, setting yourself the goal of saying, I want a better job, means I have to start looking for jobs. I have to get online, I have to send my resume out, I need to ask people I know in this field how I can do this. Those are your action steps in order to achieve that goal. So each time you're thinking, what is it that I want to be doing with myself, you need to be thinking about the idea of setting yourself a goal. Once you have the goal, you just break it down. Move it back. If my goal is this, I want to learn to be a better painter, then I need to figure out, what does that mean for me to be a better painter? It may mean that I sign up for a class. It may mean that I find a tutor. It may mean that I just convince myself that I need to sit down once a week and work on this. And so once you figure out what the goal is, pulling yourself back and saying, okay, here's my goal. What do I need to do to achieve that? Because it's the action steps that get you to your goal. And I'll tell you something else, and I find this to be a mind-blowing fact. Do you know that people who write down their goals, even if they just stick them in a drawer, are 50% more likely to achieve those goals? Because there's something about writing it down that puts it in a different perspective, that says, this is actually important to me. And so for you, writing your goal down, asking yourself what the steps are that you need to reach that goal, and then starting step by step to move yourself towards that goal. So if you have some issues around this, if you're finding it difficult to know exactly what your action steps would be, let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to come back and address that, because it's so important. I want you to design the life or business that you want. And in order to do that, we have to make changes, and changes are where we start setting our goals.